Feedback is ruining your entire life. Feedback is the worst thing you can do. Listening to the comment section, listening to family and friends, listening to people about your artworks, listening to GPT. The GPT feedback people are fucking morons. These are all NPC losers that are about to be destroyed. Let me explain. There are 3 stages. There's feedback on your business, feedback on your marketing, for example, the comment section on YouTube, and then there's feedback from your friends, and then there's feedback in your entrepreneurial journey, your artistic masterpieces. And all of those are crap. Let's start with the comment section. So, if you allow yourself to listen to the comment section in order to get feedback, in order to improve your videos, in order to become better, what are you doing? You are allowing absolute fucking morons, losers, to have an impact on your brain. Because you will be reading those comments and you will be trying to understand their perspective because you're a good human being. You try to understand their perspective and then you try to elevate your content, change your message, change the way you present online, change whatever you think you need to change. And what are you allowing there? You are allowing losers to have an impact on your personality, because no matter what you do, your personality will change because of it. Somebody will say that you're a little bit too loud. Somebody will say that your jokes are not funny. Somebody will say that you're boring, like whatever they will say, and you will let it come to you, and then you will change who you are. You will change who you are slightly, and even if you try to not listen to the comments, you will still read the comments, and that will still have an impact on you. Somebody might critique your hair. They think that your hair is not neat enough. It's not washed enough. You didn't comb it with a normie bullshit NPC crap. You didn't do that. And therefore now your presentation is not good enough. And you start to doubt. And the more doubt you let into your brain, the more you lose your identity online, you lose yourself, you lose your presence, you lose what makes you unique. You already know a very powerful rule of life. You are only as powerful, as rich, as enjoyable as the average of your 5 best friends. And because of that, you curate your 5 best friends. You curate what comes into your brain, the input that comes into your brain, because the output depends on the input. But what if you allow those loser comments of obese, fat, fucking NPC nerds to get to your brain? You're allowing them to change your personality. So this obviously doesn't work. This is terrible. You are losing yourself and your quality of life simply goes down. But hey Dries, what if I don't listen to the normies? What if I listen to my best friends? What if I listen to these extremely high level people that I have in my life? What if I listen to them? Well, first of all, they might not be as high level as you think. You're poor because of your surroundings partially, and so perhaps your surroundings are not of the quality that you think it is. But even if it is, let's assume that your surroundings are of a high quality. Your friends are actually capable. Perhaps they're even richer than you. Then listening to their feedback assumes a lot of prerequisites that need to be installed. It assumes that those people actually have your best interest at heart. That's very rare. That almost never happens, actually. People are very selfish. They will give you recommendations sometimes to decrease your success so that they can compare themselves to you and then feel better about their own success. And so now you're allowing those people that are so-called your friends to alter your strategies. For example, I had this friend who, in the beginning of the YouTube channel, recommended me to stop immediately. He thought that this was a waste of my time, and not just that, he thought that I was completely destroying my life by chasing something that was impossible. He believed that this was not the right strategy, and perhaps this came from a good place. Perhaps it didn't came from a good place. Perhaps this normie was attacking all of the non-normies in his surroundings to make sure that none of them would take off, and by extension show him that it was possible. By extension show him that he made wrong decisions. By extension show him that he is in fact partially a slave in society. And perhaps subconsciously, because he doesn't want that, he might actually be listening. Perhaps subconsciously, because he doesn't want that, he gives you that advice. Hey, don't chase this thing on YouTube. Don't start a business. Start drinking alcohol. Perhaps you should go out more. Perhaps you should do all of those loser things to keep you small. And this person might not be aware of that. And so listening to your friends assumes a lot of things. It assumes that they're smart. It assumes that they're capable. It assumes that they have your best interest at heart. It assumes that they actually can give you advice on things that matter. Giving advice means that they understand your position completely. And then, this is very important, can express that to you with words. Expressing things with words is very hard. Expressing things with words is very hard. Let's say that those people that care about you actually have your best interest at heart, actually know the right strategy for you, because let's say that they know the right strategy. Can they in fact express that to you in a way that will be helpful to you? I don't know. I mean, that's very hard. I've been expressing all sorts of stuff online. I've been expressing the correct strategies to build our businesses all of the time. And how many people misinterpreted me? How many times did I say it in a way that was just not meant for them? How many times did I say it in a way that with their personality types, it just didn't resonate with them, even though I had good intentions? The majority of time. So that means that the majority of time, the advice actually gets lost in translation. I mean, that's a pretty bad score, I would say. Now, talking about advice, if you want my advice for free, and we already know that advice is actually not that helpful, but if you want it for free, put your YouTube channel, your website link, or your TikTok in the link in the description. I will be making a video where I review websites, YouTube channels, and TikTok channels for free on this channel. If you want free marketing, put your link in the description. Now we go to the third part. Now, what about things that are not personal? What about things that are not personal? What if it's not about your personality, your presentation style, your communication skills, your video? What if it is about something material like an artwork? What if it's about a business model? What if your friends don't believe that you have what it takes, and they feel because of that giving you the best possible advice would be totally fine because you're gonna screw it up anyway? Aren't there particular situations where advice giving would result in them not only having the right advice, but also having the right intentions and all of that stuff? Well, let's take something important, because we've been talking about comments. Comments are not important. They are not going to change your life anyway. But let's talk about art. Let's talk about making a masterpiece. Let's talk about writing a bestseller book. Let's talk about making a business that will generate 20 million for you, 30 million, 40 million. Can you then listen to the advice? Because this is a very common thing. Noise of the computer, fuck. This is a very common thing. I'm testing out a new audio set. This is a very common thing, okay? Is that valuable to you? Because I've always believed that listening to the feedback of the customer is very valuable. Whoever understands the customer best wins the game. Whoever understands customer best understands them, and therefore has the best landing pages, has the best sales messages, has the best products, has the best everything, and wins against everyone in the marketplace. But is that true? Same with collectors in the galleries. You show your art, they give critique. Can you then actually improve the artwork and turn it into a masterpiece? Can you do that? Can you improve the book by listening to feedback of the audience that read the book? Can you do that? Well, I've been thinking about this, and I believe that this is not even possible. In the best possible scenario, it's not possible. When you are listening to music, when you are reading a book, when you are buying a product of a particular company, when you are looking at the Apple advertisements and you think by yourself, wow, I want an Apple computer, can you express in words what it is about the song that's so fucking genius? What it is about the book that's so mind-blowing? What it is about the advertisements of Apple that results in everybody wanting it? Can you in fact do that? The answer is no, you cannot. People cannot do that. There's something magical about art. There's something magical about the things that we cannot put in words. Masterpieces have that element that we cannot put in words. Particular master companies have that element that we cannot put in words. Particular women on the streets have that element that we cannot put in words. Two hot women, but only one of them is mesmerizing. Sometimes there's stuff that you cannot put in words, and guess what? That's the stuff that actually matters. That's the stuff that actually puts things in the history books. That's the stuff that turns a loser business idea into a $30 million business. And so, can you express it in words? No, you cannot. And if you cannot express it in words, what's the fucking point of listening to feedback anyway? Now, don't forget to put your YouTube link, website link, TikTok link, one of the three. If you only have one of the three, put it in the description. That's it. Get the hell out of here.